Hello everyone, welcome back to True Oracle Tarot. This reading is for the sign of Leo for December 2025. Please like, comment, and share this video, and subscribe if you feel connected to this reading or know anyone who needs to hear this message. Also, it helps the algorithm push the video out so it can reach others. Thank you. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm going to do a personal growth reading, Leo, and then I will follow it up with money and then love. I have the Seven of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, Page of Swords, the Empress, the Nine of Pentacles, the Star, that's a nice card, and the Emperor. Alright, so the Seven of Pentacles, Leo, is about moving forward, right? You may be having a time of really taking a step back and pondering about moving forward. You know, you may be even feeling a bit stagnant, confused, even some sadness even, right? But you'll reap the rewards from the seeds that you have sown, okay? Seeds that you've planted. You know, your hard work is going to pay off. Also, remember to stay grounded. Stay grounded at this time and remain balanced, okay? It might be wise to take a vacation or some time off also, as to avoid burnout, okay? Here's the Nine of Wands. And you know, this card is about resilience, right? After the Seven of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands is very, very good. Okay, resilience and wisdom, you know, through a long challenge. Okay, you may have had a challenging journey. It could be in love. This is a personal growth reading, so it can encompass both love and career as well. And you're still there. You're still standing on your own terms, and you're growing, right? You know, you may have had some struggles in the past, but I see that regardless of what you're pushing on, okay, regardless of the struggles, you're keeping on, and you're still looking for ways to achieve your goals, okay? You know, the card is also calling out your endurance, okay? Your endurance, and also know when it's time to stop. Just, you know, stop pushing and, you know, take a step back, do some introspection, and protect your energy also, okay? You know, things are tough right now for everyone. You know, I've been getting some really, you know, people's been having some tough readings. It's just you know, the sign of the times. But, you know, hold your ground, have fortitude, you know, see things through the end. What if you're working on a project, or if you're in a relationship or anything like that, have some confidence, okay? You've survived a lot. You've survived a lot of your own trials. And here's the page, right? The Page of Swords. It's talking about your own intellectual curiosity, also seeking new career endeavors, new projects, okay? It's also about, again, another personal growth card. It's about personal growth, okay? It's also telling you to embrace your intellectual curiosity, okay? And don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask for help. You're not going to look foolish. You will look foolish, however, if you don't ask for help, right? And know that regardless of what any challenges that you may have, you will continue to grow, okay? And you're a smart cookie, Leo. You'll get through this, okay? Because here's the Empress, okay? It's the Empress. It looks like you might be looking into some type of creative project. It might be a creative project, or I don't know if some of you may be an artist, some type of an architect, perhaps, someone that creates with their hand, but just not their hands, but their minds. Connect, okay? Connect with yourself. This is also talking about motherhood, also, right? Motherhood and growth and beauty, comfort and pleasure, if you're not looking to be a parent at this time, take the necessary precautions. Also, the Empress has the ability to generate their own abundance, okay? But very, very kind, very, nurturing also, okay? And I'm not afraid to show unconditional love, okay? And here's the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles signifies a state of self-sufficiency. Again, things might be hard, a little bit rough, but things are good. You have some really good cards here. Things are going to look up. It's going to become better, as you can see. You have the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Star, and you have the Emperor and the Empress, right? So, the Nine of Pentacles is about self-sufficiency, right? Accomplishment, independence. You've done it all on your own. It's about comfort, security, beauty. A lot of personal growth is also on the horizon. You might be seeking out also spiritual growth as well. I see, you doing very well, reaping the rewards of your hard work, okay? And feeling satisfied, okay? Feeling satisfied and a sense of validation that you've done well and you did it on your own, that you've come such a long way, right? You've came a long way. The card also is telling you to appreciate freedom, appreciate freedom of being financially independent, okay? Financially free, self-reliant, growth is found in mastering your own world, okay? And finding contentment within it. And here's the Star. The Star is a lovely card. The Star card is about profound hope and renewal, okay? A period of coming out of a period of darkness is the light of the Star shining your way, shining on your path so you can see your way out of the darkness, right? It's the universe shining a light on your path for you, okay? It's time to heal, okay? It's time to let go of past pain, any cynicism that you may have had, anything that may have been holding you back, okay? Past disappointments. Trust your intuition also, okay? And allow yourself to dream, okay? Allow yourself to dream, okay? And you'll see, you're on the right path, and your future is bright, right? This future is bright from light from the star, and the Emperor energy. The Emperor represents structure, authority, and discipline, okay? The card is about building a solid foundation and a personal growth reading. A solid foundation for your life and the people around you, your loved ones. It's time to take command also, is what it's telling you. Establish order, create rules if you need to. Perhaps it's in a workplace, right? You might be a person of authority, a leader, okay? But the Emperor is just not a leader in the workplace. It could be a spiritual leader, it can be a parent, a teacher, okay? Growth comes also, Leo, with mastering one's self-discipline, right? Taking responsibility for your world and building something lasting and secure, okay, with determination. Okay, that's your personal growth. I'm going to move on to money. For Leo, you have this, the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, sorry. The Nine of Pentacles, that's pretty nice for money. There's some nice money cards here. Death. Death is just an ending. It can be an ending of a cycle. Oh, you have the Ten of Pentacles also. This is really nice. This is really good reading. Leo, here's the Knight of Cups, Eight of Swords, and the Magician. This is a good reading. Okay, so the Eight of Pentacles, it represents hard work, diligence, right? Focus on your craft, whatever it is, your career. It's about putting in the hours and the hard work also, refining your skills, Leo. And building well through your consistent effort and hard work. You show up every day, It's also looked at as the Apprentice card, right? Learning from others. And there's a lot it's leading to rewards, right? All this, you showing up every day, putting in the hard work, it's leading to a lot of rewards, because here's the Nine of Pentacles, right? The card is about Nine of Pentacles is about financial independence. You enjoying the fruits of your labor. Again, another, money is good. Money's good, Leo. See a lot of stuff come. Good, good financial, good, good financial prosperity is coming. It's the Nine of Pentacles is also, self-sufficiency. You leveling up, okay? You're leveling up, moving into another tax bracket where you're comfortable and feel secure, right? Everything on your own terms, Leo. Okay, you've achieved a state where you're comfortable, and you can splurge a little bit, okay, and buy some little, luxurious things that you wanted, but refrain from purchasing because money may have been tight, but then not anymore. You can buy the things you want without needing anyone's help. It's you're feeling financially free, okay, and the savior of your own success. So, and then you enter into the death energy, but death is just an ending, okay. It's not about literal death, okay. It's about profound change, leveling up, going to the next level, okay. It's a new financial beginning for you because you enter into the Ten of Pentacles. I mean, you can't make this reading up, right? It's it's for you, and it's the universe telling you, I see you, and your hard work is paying off, okay? So, it's a new financial beginning for you. Get out the outdated poverty mindset, okay? And start thinking abundance. You're transforming your life, right? You're moving from the Eight of Pentacles to the Nine, moving into a different phase of life, and you're going to hit your Ten of Pentacles, right? Material and financial success, right? Long-term wealth, legacy, family security. It could be an inheritance. It can be wealth. It can be money from your, leveling up in your career, promotion, okay? You starting a business, being successful, financial investment that's paying off, okay? I see long-term family security. This is generational wealth, Leo, okay? It's generational wealth that's just going to be passed on, and I know this is what has been on your mind for a long time, okay? It's the Ten of Pentacles is the ultimate financial safety card, okay? You're providing security for yourself, just not for yourself, but for your long ones, your loved ones in the long run. And here's the Knight of Cups, right? This is an opportunity, okay? It's an opportunity that may be coming to you. But just approach everything with caution, okay? Follow your heart and your intuition, okay? Be aware this opportunity could just be a fantasy. It could just be like a pipe dream, okay? Rather than being practical, being realistic, okay? Do your due diligence, okay? Do your research and make sure that you protect yourself before you sign your name on anything. And here's the Eight of Swords. Because you don't want to start feeling trapped if you sign on the dotted line and then you're stuck in some type of contract, okay? You might feel powerless, you don't want to create a financial prison for yourself either, okay? Because that's what the Eight of Cards is. The Eight of Swords. It's about being in a prison, not physically, but in your mind, okay? And able to find a way out, and get out, remove limiting beliefs like, I'm bad with money or stuff like that. You're not. Seek help. Seek a professional to help you, okay? Get someone to read contracts. Make sure you read the fine print before you sign your name. If you don't feel 100% on something, don't do it. This is not financial advice, by the way, Leo. you can change your mindset, okay? And you're free to make decisions in your that works for you, okay? And this is the and you have the Magician, which is the manifestation card, okay? You're manifesting your heart's desires, right? You're manifesting financial abundance. You have the tools to manifest financial abundance, Leo. You're going to create the financial outcome that you want. You already have the 10 of Pentacles. Just be careful with your pentacles. Be careful with your coins, right? You don't want to make yourself become a victim of bad decisions or other people, putting too much trust in others, okay? At the end of the day, people only care about their own coins, okay? As long as they're not going to be thinking about yours, okay? So at this time, focus on yourself, okay? Focus on your talents, focus on your willpower, focus on your financial goals, and make them a reality. Just because you have the 10 of Pentacles, it doesn't mean it's the end of your financial journey, okay? And that's what the Magician is. You have the power. You have the power to manifest wealth. You just need to align yourself with your intentions and act on it, and create more 10 of Pentacles. That's your financial reading, Leo. That's financial and career. Okay? So we're going to go to love. Okay, love for Leo. December 2025, we have the Death card, the first card. So you're in a transition. And King of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. There's a lot of people here. Yep, Three of Wands, Two of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. And the Eight of Swords. Alright, so it looks like a phase of building, stability. And the Death card is not about physical death, right? It's the end of something, the end of a cycle. It could be the end of a chapter in a love life. It doesn't necessarily mean it's ended. It just means that you're ready to take the next step. Right? The death is about transformation, right? Letting go of old things. It may be old behaviors, old ways of thinking, jealousy, possessiveness, that type of thing. Those type of negative behaviors. Okay? It's about you completely releasing your past, any pain that you may have had that is impacting your present, right? The Death card is calling you to release it. Release the pain. Make room for new love. Resisting the change will only cause more pain. Embracing the change is the only way forward for you. Here's the King of Wands. The King of Wands is about passion, right? King of Wands is confident, passion. He's a visionary. Could be an older, you have an older person or person that's your age, and then someone that's younger. Also, but this is like a love triangle, some type of love triangle. If you're in a relationship, it just can mean that there's other people around that's either being nosy, or either you or your person is discussing your personal issues with them. Don't invite other people into your relationship. It just causes problems. Okay? Sensitive information, try to keep to yourself, or discuss it with your connection, with your loved one. Okay? The King of Wands is also very charismatic. Okay? Not afraid to take charge. This could be you or your person, or it could be a third party, right? Because there's more people here. An adventurer, a powerful person, powerful energy. You can, if it is you, it's about moving forward, being assertive. Okay, becoming more passionate. Leading, pursuing your people that you're romantically pursuing, or the relationship that you have now. It's calling for a little bit more romance. It's the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is a lover, if it is your lover, or a romantic person. It's patient, very loyal, okay, and dedicated also. A bit slow though, very slow, but steady. A person who's there for the long haul. But they constantly need reassuring. Reassuring that the love is there, that you love them, or feel a certain way about them. Okay, they are reliable though. Okay, and have a deep sense of duty. They will protect you also. Not too flashy, a bit spontaneous though, and it seems to be financially secure. The King of Wands is doing pretty alright, doing pretty well. So you're when it comes to coins, you're doing well there. Not only are you cashing in, your connections are doing pretty well also. They're very quiet and steadfast, ready to build. Just say the word. And here's the Three of Wands. Okay, it's about foresight and planning, planning for the future, planting the seeds of love in a relationship. It's going to begin to sprout, might be a beginning of something also. If you've started in a relationship, it's going to kick off. It's going to kick off really well. Be optimistic also, okay? Knowing that, there's a lot of people around you you have a lot of admirers around you, Leo. You're very attractive to a lot of people, right? And if you decide to move ahead with the Knight of Pentacles, it's going to move ahead really, really well. It's going to be very consistent. It also signifies an engagement, so that's something to look forward to. Okay, it's also points to a secure path. Okay, and here's the Two of Pentacles. Is the give and take card, right? You need balance. The Two of Pentacles is calling for balance. There's a lot of things going on in your life right now. Money's going well, and then you have love is going well also. Manage your career as well as your romantic life. Okay, given you're juggling a lot of stuff here. your if you're dating, your dating life, your multiple people, as well as your career life. Okay, and finding time for yourself for personal growth as well. You'll It's also calling for you to adapt. Okay, adapt to change. And find what works for you. Okay, and try not to get overwhelmed with everyone needing you and wanting you by their side. Here's the Six of Pentacles. It's again a card about giving and receiving in a relationship. It speaks about healthy balance also. It's telling you, find balance. Same thing with the Two of Pentacles, right? It reinforces the Two of Pentacles about balance. Mutual care, pay attention to your partner. And it also calls being fair, about 50-50 in a relationship, okay? Try not to let it be one-sided. It'll cause problems, okay? And here's your Eight of Swords. You feel trapped, you feel stuck, you don't know where to turn, right? You don't know, you might not know who to choose, where to go. They look so, your choices are so good. But try to take a step back and weigh the pros and cons. Who will be there for the long run? Who's going to be there through the thick and thin? Who's going to be there no matter what? And then you choose. Try not to get too carried away with shallow thinking, right? It's it's an important message for you. To just tell you to tread carefully, because being stuck between more than one connection can be very, very hard. Can be very painful as well, just not for you, but also for the other people involved. You have the power to free yourself, Leo. Okay, it's all up to you. Okay, that is the end of that. I'm gonna pull an energy card for you. Just 1 second. It all fell down. Okay, an energy card for Leo. Awakening. Awakening is the process of discovering your true self. There you are. Thank you, Leo. Stay focused and stay positive. Thank you for stopping by.